Hello and welcome to Herman Manyora's channel this fine Sunday. I hope you're doing well rested. My name is Jadiel Kabiro. If you're joining us for the first time, I'm here with the one and only Herman Manyora, sir. How are you doing today?
Oh, wonderful.
Mood?
Oh, wonderful.
How was your week?
Full of vibes.
Full of vibes. It's just a vibes Sunday right here.
Yes.
But let's talk about the state of politics. So many things have happened over the past week. And let me start with where you come from. The Luya Nation putting Kotu Secretary General Francis Atwoli to be their negotiator when it comes to elections 2022. Should there be negotiations when you guys already have a presidential candidate, Musalia Mudavadi?
Well, having a presidential candidate or candidates, as in the case of Western, with Mukisa Kitui.
Oh yeah, he's still there.
There was Opranya, but he has now given way to his boss, Raila. There's Mukisa Kitui, there's Mudavadi. Having presidential candidate doesn't mean you don't talk to other communities. You don't have enough votes. So even if Mudavadi is a serious candidate, the Luya will still need to talk to other communities. So if they have given Francis Atwoli that role, then it's a good thing.
Should he be receiving the backlash he's receiving because
Who?
there's Francis Atwoli and the likes of Oparanya for putting him in that position and not Musalia Mudavadi?
You know, Musalia Mudavadi is a presidential candidate. It would be better for the community to have an independent person like Atwoli who has no political ambitions. Who can talk on behalf of the community. Supposing the community reaches somewhere and they say they must compromise. They see they have no chance of winning through Mudavadi. It will be very difficult for Mudavadi to say that. It will be much easier for an independent person like Atwoli to say, okay, fine, we have our own, but we are realistic enough to see that in 2022, we are better off working with Ruto, or we are better off working with Raila. An independent person like Atwoli can do that, I think, in my view, much better than an affected person. Because Mudavadi wants to run.
How about the people that put him in that position? Someone like Governor Wycliffe Oparanya, he has been singing campaign trails together with Raila Odinga. Yes. Should people read malice out of this?
You know, it is politics. Politics is a game of interest. Certainly Atwoli and Oparanya must have some bias. It's natural. And we all know where they're headed. I think these are people who believe this country should give Raila a chance. Oh. And I think their role will be to convince their community but that we are better off working with Raila than trying to dream that we can acquire, that we can achieve the presidency through Mudavadi. It's still okay to me.
Still okay for you? I was listening to, I think, political analyst Ambrose Weda,
yes.
And he was saying these interests are not necessarily for the Luya community, but for themselves. Would you say people should put trust in someone like Francis Atwoli to lead the community to a better regime come 2022?
So who would do it? If somebody like me, as educated as I am, I think I'm a little educated, not very, but a little educated. I can't sit on that table. How about the village and my neighbor who never went to school, who can they sit on that table? Oh. It must be somebody. Things are done through leaders, and leaders are people who have profiled themselves, who have certain profile, who can sit on certain tables, who can knock at certain doors. If Atwoli can knock at certain doors that Manyora can't, I can't begrudge him. So that's how the world works.
So he should be the
I mean, look here. Don't I look like I have ideas? Don't I look like I can be a Luya leader? Don't I look like I can even lead this country? But you see, the way things are, I must be realistic to know, Atwoli stands a better chance of opening the doors as straight out than Manyora. Me, if I went, I will be kicked out of the gates. The gates will be open. He'll go and talk to Uhuru. So then, in recognition of that we are not the same, we are better in certain ways, other people are. There are ways in which I'm better than them. There must be ways they are better than me. And in terms of speaking for the community, I don't see anybody who can speak for the Luya nation more than Francis Atwoli for now. Yeah. So among those who are not interested in election, Francis Atwoli has said he doesn't want to be an MCA, he doesn't want to be a governor, he doesn't want to be the president. So if a person like that has declared that I, Francis Atwoli, I'm not interested in elections, but I'm mindful of my community. Where is my community heading? Is it getting to the wilderness? Is the Luya nation getting lost? I, as Francis Atwoli, I don't want to see that. I can play my role in guiding my community. There's nothing wrong with that. However, should Musalia Mudavadi or Mukisa Kitui play their politics to a point where it is clear to all and sundry that they stand a chance of going to State House? I am sure even Francis Atwoli himself will change tact. If Mudavadi now galvanize the Luya nation, all of it, galvanize other communities to follow him, and as we approach 2022, it is clear he stands a good chance. even Atwoli will change.
Oh.
He will change. You say, no, let's support Mudavadi. But for now, I think they are just being realistic that it's Raila who stands a chance of winning the presidency against Ruto. And there is a sizable number of Kenyans who feel perhaps Ruto shouldn't be the president. If the man who can make sure Ruto doesn't become president is Raila, then there are many people willing to support that person.
So it's just about taking time to look at the dynamics of politics.
Yes.
Let's head over to William Ruto, who was in Kilifi for a food program, helping some drought-stricken area with the residents. But he mentioned something quite significant, and he has been saying it quite a lot, saying that food insecurity has been brought by the former Prime Minister, saying that the Big Four agenda clearly was there to ensure that everyone has food at their homes. And he said if it were not for the handshake, all of this would not happen. Would you say he's somehow true, or he's just playing politics?
That's just rubbish. Food insecurity in this country is due to very obvious reasons. But even before you talk about the big issue of land, because I've said repeatedly, where is the courage on matters of land from Ruto or from any other politician? Before you handle the issue of land, even in the constitution we were not bold enough. We held it, then we let it go. We said parliament will legislate. Unless you tell us land ownership, who will own land in this country, in what sizes, what is the maximum land, what is the minimum? Because again, you can chop land into small and productive pieces. There must be a law that says you can't subdivide land beyond such. We are afraid to deal with that. That's the bigger thing. Before that, what has been the mess in the North Rift region in terms of agriculture? How have maize farmers suffered in places around Eldoret, Moi's Bridge, Kitale? What has Ruto done, even when he was Minister of Agriculture? We lose a big percentage of our crop through post-harvest loss. Just because you cannot give our farmers in the Rift Valley, North Rift, dryers. Our farmers suffer because of marketing. Until middlemen come, because the planting season is there, you have the maize, nobody has bought it. The corruption in the cereals board. That's what Ruto should be addressing. He came up with the Gulana Kuralo project, which is a white elephant, just to eat money. It was the most useless thing somebody can come up with.
What would you say?
So how can you then turn around and say it is a handshake that is causing food problem?
Yes. What do you think that the handshake made the government concentrate more, as he has been saying, on the Building Bridges initiative and not development?
That's not true. Government has been running the way it should run. Government has just been running, and things have been going on. Yeah, I mean, if you talk about any of those things that Uhuru has been saying he will do them. I'm not a fan of those things. I don't believe any of those things myself. I've given examples. If you ask Ruto about universal health coverage, he will say NHIF should be structured in this manner. We should have improved by now. The universal health coverage should be on, but because of the handshake. But Manyora will tell you that's rubbish. And I've told you in this show, I've talked about it with Richard.
Disbanding.
If you believe that Kenyans should get good health care, begin by dismantling NHIF, not reforming, because you can't reform a fraud. That is a fraud. Why can't Ruto tell me, for example, when I become president, I will revitalize all public hospitals, train more doctors and other paramedics, nurses and other people, clinicians, until we have enough and we pay them well and equip our hospitals. Then every Kenyan can go to a hospital and get free quality health care. I've said that before. You cannot now say, oh, because of the handshake, manufacturing. What manufacturing? What is his policy on cheap imports?
You know,
we cannot manufacture with all these cheap imports. Some of which these people are involved in. Yeah,
I was watching Mudho on the street marshal, and he was asking, do you think Raila can change this country? Let me ask you now, do you think Ruto can change this country when it comes to restructuring everything for the benefit of the country?
First of all, we must thank, I must say, Marshal Mudho is a good young man. He's doing a good job in the streets. We really want to engage Kenyans. And going forward, we want to see more of that. We are going to move to many, including rural areas. And I can see Marshal Mudho is up to the task. He will move up to Nyeri, Kakamega, Vihiga, where I come from, talk to ordinary Kenyans as we grow with our viewers. Let me repeat. I do not see how Ruto can change this country.
Not at all?
Not at all.
All the things he has been saying.
But he's a good man. Ruto is a good man. And he can be a good president, but he cannot change this country. How can he change it? By throwing money down there? Sometimes I laugh. Because when you say that Raila is giving people handouts of 6,000, but we were promoting the rich.
Yes, he said that.
Where you come from in the village, I know you are people. Let me use me because me, I'm a villager. I come from a village called Luombe. I come from Sambai location. If you get all the border boys and empower them, that's what Ruto is saying he can do.
Yeah.
You empower them by giving them their own motorcycles. That's good. You empower the small mama mboga. She can now have a kiosk, a permanent place. You empower the Duka man to have a supermarket. That's also good.
Yeah.
And I love it. But what are you creating? You are only creating small rich people now. The rich people are up here. You see where they are here?
Yeah.
You want to go down and create another class of some rich people. It's only relative. But you are saying, those of you who are selling mboga and we have a business of 10,000, we can make your business a 200,000 business. So you are now in the class of the rich.
Yeah.
But for every one of those, there are hundreds or thousands of people who are hungry. Who finish a year without touching 1,000 shillings. A year. They have never seen 1,000. So even if as you empower the so-called mama mbogas, borders and the rest, and the other wheelbarrow pushers down there, for each one of those, there are hundreds or thousands of other Kenyans who will see 1,000 shillings after 2 years. 1,000 shilling not.
Yeah.
And if Raila is addressing those ones, I think it's better than you. Still, it is better to enhance production at the national level. You get it?
Yeah.
Big production, industrialization, and you address the reasons as to why we don't have industries running in this country. From simple things like cost of power, cost of doing business, cost of starting business, cheap imports. Those are the things Ruto can talk about and say, oh, this guy can change. But to tell me you throw some money down there, and which money will you throw down there? And you haven't told me how you'll stop the stealing. Because you must stop the stealing up there for you to get money to take down there. Has he told you how he'll stop the stealing?
So we should first discuss about corruption.
Yes, seal the loopholes. And when you have done all that, you must again come back and tell me, we have now stopped stealing through this and this strategy. We now have saved enough money. Then I will tell you, William Ruto or Raila Odinga, you must know without brains, where is the place of knowledge?
Okay.
Where are knowledgeable men and women to ensure whatever policies we put in place are sound policies. And the implementation strategies can work because they have studied how they have worked elsewhere and how they can work here, or how we can be even the first people in the world. Where is the place of knowledge?
We also,
that's what I'm telling you. These guys can't change this country.
Several things haven't been
This
said
country
yet.
can be changed by someone like Manyora if I became president. 5 years, you can't believe this is the country. 5 years of a Manyora presidency. You cannot believe this is Kenya.
We should start campaigning for you then.
Let us start.
Okay, let's talk about the former Prime Minister. He was awarded by the Hekima Kaka Society at Villa Rosa for his role in unifying peace and also his democratic nature. What does this mean for him? We've seen a lot of endorsements coming from his side now, rewards. He was sitting on a big chair looking like a traditional king. What does this mean for his mammoth kind of crowds? You called it that on your Saturday video. What do you say about all this that is happening for his campaigns come 2022?
I think Raila is simply having a two-pronged approach, like I said yesterday. I think it was yesterday.
Yes.
What I said was, Ruto has been with the crowds, with the people, with the ground.
Yeah.
Raila has been sealing up there, getting the support of the notables in society, institutions and bodies and individuals who always are opinion shapers. Ruto has been laughing and saying, no, power is with the people. So Raila has quickly moved, and you can see now he's also with the people. But he still hasn't forgotten that Kenyan politics and international politics, anywhere in the world, is played through powerful groups, lobby groups and individuals. So he's playing politics the way it is traditionally played, through lobby groups, powerful institutions, powerful individuals, while at the same time not leaving Ruto have a field day on the ground. You can see that
He's still going to the
Raila
ground.
is a political genius. When I say this, people say Raila Manyora is working for Raila. That guy doesn't. I don't work for him. I even don't know where he lives. I've met him once or twice. But as you know, there's not much you can get from Raila. I've said it repeatedly.
So these awards, these endorsements, are we going to see more of them?
More of those will come.
Should Ruto look for them?
He has already rubbished them.
Mount Kenya Foundation.
It was a mistake. Like Mount Kenya, there are rich people in a club. Those are influential people. If you speak negatively about leaders of a community, you are touching on many people. I've said it in the video of yesterday. I said, these Mount Kenya Foundation people, don't think they are just rich people. They have touched individual people and individual families around Mount Kenya. They have helped many people to start businesses. Many people could not have been what they are and if James Mwangi had not given them loans through equity. And they know it. You get what I'm saying? So Raila is starting at the top. The cream in terms of those billionaires, top church leaders, top political leaders, governors, and what. He will move at a lower tier, a lower level. There will be leaders at that lower level. Finally, he will get to the leader of the grassroots, and you are gone. You can't compete him. This is a political genius.
Well, we'll wait and see whether he'll become the president once campaigns fully get into play. But that has been our conversation on the state of politics in our country. We'll continue having them more and more until we get to the elections and finally see who's going to be the next president, right? Thank you so much for keeping time. And until we have these conversations again, have yourself a lovely rest of your day.